initially is what you expect, a darkened bridge, because normally what would be in this situation is the bridge would be dark during hyperspace, and the one of the two androids, because Watts is with you, you would expect model T108, who you call Tim, to be at the bridge with the shield down. So the hyperspace shield is covering the main window, so you're unable to see outside. And as you step in, the lights immediately activate by the motion. And that's when you notice Tim. To your left, you can see Tim, and he's crushed up against the back of the bridge. And I want you to imagine someone took a steel plate and just squished him into the wall. You can see the white liquid has been pouring out of him based off of the size of the pool below him. You would venture to guess this could have happened for as long as 12 hours ago, which, kind of going through the math, that actually makes sense, strictly based on the fact that it takes about 12 hours for you to cycle out of cryo. So if you jumped out of hyperspace unexpectedly, that kicked off the cryo thawing, all of that math makes sense to you immediately.
Okay, Hank, seal the door to the bridge. We need to see what's happening here and start scanning of the bridge area.
Major, I'll check on Tim's systems if you want to get that blast shield up and see where we are.
Definitely proceed, Mr. Watts.
All right, I'll head over to him and see if there's any like undamaged port in his cranial access or otherwise that I can plug into.
Yeah, so you're able to find the plug-in for him, but it's dead. You're unable to connect, getting any data information out of him. Let's go ahead and I'm going to let you, DZ, do our first roll. So if you would go ahead and let's do a straight intellect, but with advantage. So mentioning this is a D100 system, you can roll things at advantage or disadvantage. So at this case, he rolls twice. And because we want to roll low, he's going to take the lower of those two numbers. So he rolled an 80 and a 64. The 64 still falls below his target of 41. Not clear, Watts, what could have caused this, but there doesn't seem to be any battle damage. So it doesn't seem like anything struck him, broke him, tore him, or anything. It looks just that he was crushed.
Major starts to sweep the bridge area. Meanwhile, while Mr. Watts is checking on them and trying to see if there's anything unusual, maybe something that could endanger us. Of course, gun loaded and just scanning it as he was trained to do so.
So you get up to the chair where you would have expected Tim to be sitting, and it looks like Tim at one point was sitting there. You see part of his clothes still torn off. You can see where the belt had broken and pulled away. So if he were to go straight back from where he was out of that chair, he would have landed where you see that he's landed. Doing a quick scan of the dash. This is not your expertise, but this is not the first time you've been on the bridge. No red lights, no sensors, no klaxons or anything happening. So immediate assessment, things look okay. Let's quickly cut back to Arlo.
Yeah, so Arlo's at this point probably absent-mindedly meandering to the bridge. And I guess when he gets there, he sees Tim. He's kind of still standing in the back, not really doing anything, kind of a wallflower, and says, "Huh, I liked him," and then takes a bite of a tomato that he was holding on to.
Let's go ahead and do an intellect with advantage, Arlo, if you don't mind. Oh, look at that. You didn't need to roll twice. Both of your rolls ended up below the 50.
Scientist here.
Arlo, you're able to quickly kind of assess the evidence. And this is what makes the most sense. If we were to jump out of hyperspace at a very unexpected moment, at a speed and a velocity, it is not completely unrealistic that Tim was in the chair and it happened in such a way that it tore him out of the chair and crushed him to the back of the bridge.
Okay, so I basically explained that to the crew in the simplest way possible, and then I asked Hank, "Do you think you could explain this a little bit? What happened here? Hyperspace, a little
Didn't
too
he
early,
fly
jumpy."
forward?
Please rephrase.
uh, Hyperspace. Why did we fly so quickly forward? Why didn't Tim anticipate this?
Based on our logs, it appears hyperspace was not initiated by the CS province. It was unexpected.
I just look around to everyone. I have no idea what that means.
Had we previously exited hyperspace and then re-entered?
No. This is the first exit from hyperspace for this journey.
Mr. Brett, can you check and see what we need to do to get us back on track and get this ship moving?
Yeah, Major Farrell, it appears everything's in order. Hank, do you report any engine damage or any trouble in any of the engine rooms or?
For Protocol Alpha,
Or hull
I
integrity?
began diagnostics immediately. Engine systems, active. Life support, active. Hyperspace module, operational.
So we have several options. I think our mission is clear, and we will need to get back into hyperspace as soon as possible. Let's put some time and effort in investigation of what happened here. But I would not delay that much and get back on track. What do you think, Mr. Watts?
I agree. Hank, are there video records of the bridge during the time of the unexpected event? And while he's doing that, I'm gonna look at Tim, and if I know that the port is dead, but if there is a actual circuit from him that I can recover that might have any data stored on it, I'm just gonna rip that right out of him.
Accessing video storage. Terminal 4. Waiting your command.
Does someone else want to go start that video and check it out while I'm doing this?
Brett,
I
I'll
will
happily go over there.
Yeah, I will follow with Brett as well.
Arlo takes another bite of the tomato and talks about. He looks over to the major. Do you think we should wake up the captain before we jump back in? Because I'm not super comfortable just making a decision right now. Are you?
First of all, let's see what happened here before we jump to any rash decisions. Second of all, I think we're rationing the food. Why are you eating the tomato after we had just had breakfast? Can you explain this to me?
It grew 4 more than I was expecting. So gotta try it out.
You're not in charge for the rationing, so please
want a
for
bite?
next time. No, not really. Well, let's proceed to the video.
Damn.
So we see Brett walk over to Terminal 4, and as soon as that happens,
Oh my God.
Craig,
We're-
you're on,
Hank.
Hank.
We got Craig and Hank.
How sexy is that?
Middlingly.
You get over to Terminal 4, and as soon as you're there, Hank recognizes that you're watching Brett and hits play. And it shows you about just over 12 hours ago, you can see Hank or Tim doing exactly what Tim should be doing, which is manning the bridge. And there's a shaking of the cam, and you see Tim get torn out of his chair, flown to the back of the bridge, and just absolutely crushed. And as that's all happening, you got the shaky cam happening, and then the cam goes still.
Brett's going to continue to watch
Confused
this
why
video.
he flew backwards.
What was that, Brett?
Oh, yeah. Brett's just going to stay hovered over that monitor and just keep watching and see if anything changes, anything fishy. Who knows what might have happened.
Yeah, so, play again. It really nothing new information-wise comes out of that. So the only other thing I'll remind everybody of is the blast shield is still down.
So, Mr. Brett, can you make anything of this? I don't want to watch this 5 more times.
It doesn't appear anything else to grab from this.
Okay, what's the next course of action then? What's the most critical system we should start back online? Or Mr. Watts, maybe you're more capable on these topics.
I suggest we open the hyperspace blast door to get a visual of our location.
Do we have cameras outside of the blast door so we can check for any, I don't know, asteroid holes or anything that might have gone through?
No, there's no external cameras on the ship. There are cameras in the bridge area and then in each of the cryos on the ship itself. But no, there's no external cameras.
Okay, let's proceed, Mr. Watts.
Okay, I will open the blast shield from the nearest terminal.
Yep. So the shield slowly raises up. It's a large metal shield. And as it opens, what we would expect to see, of course, is deep space. What we actually see is metal. And as it opens, you're trying to figure out what the hell you're looking at. And then you realize, and I think it's the lettering that tips it off, you're looking at the side of a ship. And once the shield opens up about 2/3 of the way through, you can see white lettering marked Alexis. And you're not able from where you are to see to the far right or to the far left. It's all ship.
Do we know what Alexis is?
You do not.
So are we directly ramped into the ship?
As best as you can tell, you're maybe 1,000 yards or so from the ship,
Okay,
which is
okay.
in space is way too close.
Hank, can you scan the ship that's ahead of us and give us more information? Are there any life forms? Can we contact them?
Scanning ship. Identification. Alexis. Research. Scanning for life forms. No life forms.
Hell, there comes. And let's see if somebody answers.
So you get the beep.
The crappy little monitor.
Yep.
It's 2 colors.
So sending off the comms, no response. Hank does jump
Hank.
in though.
No. Life support on the Alexis is active. Power active.
Hank, does your scan include checks for synthetic life forms?
Scanning. No active artificial androids present.
Well, in my book, they're not paying us to do anything about that. So I suggest that we leave them. We mark them in the logs, send off the comms to so help team can check what happened here, and we should proceed further startup.
It seems likely that we dropped out of hyperspace to avoid a collision from this ship.
Are you
Or-
able to maneuver around this obstacle and get us back on track?
Sufficient piloting would allow that.
Does anybody want to take
Hank,
the
are
helm?
they? Is their ship connected to ours via any docking mechanisms?
So you check that on the terminal. You are not connected to the ship.
Okay. I'm gonna take the helm if Tim and I are supposed to be alternating doing this, and I'm going to start maneuvering the ship to go under or over because it sounds like it's horizontal. But while I'm at the terminal, I'm also going to try to access the other ship's logs myself to hack into it if I can.
So you're able to bring, best as you can tell, the easiest way to kind of get clear is to go down. So you have the ship go down, and if it was just the province, you would be dwarfed by this huge research ship. But of course, you have 10 times the volume because you're attached to the cargo below. And as you dip down, at first you see what you expect, which is deep space. But then you realize appears to be a moon far off. It seems to be orbiting a large red planet. But that's not that odd. What is odd is this Alexis is not the only ship. And as you clear it, you realize that surrounding the moon is a ring of ships of all different makes and models.
What the hell happened here? This just gives me more hints to get out of here as fast as possible. Let's just
Confirmed.
maneuver out of this ring and get back into hyperspace immediately.
Let's do a quick hacking roll, if we could, Watts.
Yes, I would love. You said me, right?
You are our hacker, right? I think you're the only one with the
Yeah.
hacking skill.
Yes. Just wanted to confirm. Regular intellect, no advantage or anything,
Correct.
or disadvantage. Okay. My goodness.
Look at you.
You definitely made it. So you're able to connect with the Alexis, able to get into the systems. And I'm going to kind of give you an info dump. And after I'm done with that, if there's other things that you want to know, just ask. But one, this appears to be a research ship. And actually from the same megacorp that you work with, which is the, I already forgot the name of the damn thing.
Lucient.
Ironclad Logistics. And looking at flight plans, looks to be that it left your solar system maybe about 4 years ago. Was supposed to set out to another terraforming location, do some research, check in on that terraform. This is a planet that's way outside of that, so it's not like where in the direction you would be headed. This would be a completely different direction for it to be headed to a completely different system. According to the logs, it appears that the systems fell out of hyperspace roughly about 18 days ago.
Arlo's just standing behind Watts, picking out tomato seeds from the scraps and just super curious about everything that he's looking at. He offhandedly mentions that, we're early, right? I mean, we just topped out 2.5 years. I say we check stuff out. This is wild stuff. Look at those ships.
Imagine each of those ships could be a death sentence to us. We cannot take that risk. We shouldn't do anything about this.
With Brett being the mechanic and
This ship,
knowing about this type of stuff, do any of the ships look significantly aged, as if like they were previous generations, or they all kind of current era that I would be familiar with?
So it's really hard to tell from where you are, Brett. I mean, you have obviously a good view of the Alexis because it's right there, but looking beyond, the other ships are pretty damn far away to get a kind of a visual on that. But
Okay.
shape wise, probably the takeaway would be multiple sizes and shapes, some large, some smaller ones, and if you were to find out they would, some were, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that's possible. But you can't really make out any maker models or recognize anything.
Okay.
As a mechanic, though, you recognize that all of them seem to be in some sort of orbit as opposed to being, they're not flying around the moon.
Okay.
this Alexis ship is not was not on a path that intersected ours in any way, and in fact, by safety regulations, normal hyperspace routes do not pass by any known bodies. So it appears that we have been taken off course.
Do you know which entity taken us off course or what happened exactly?
Hank, any indication of our location in space?
Still calculating.
Unable to recognize. I will update.
How hard is it to triangulate based on known star entities? Our ship doesn't appear to be damaged, and I'm inclined to agree that each of these ships represents a risk to us and our cargo.
Yeah. So we're the Alpha team. So it's our responsibility to get this thing working. So get us back on track and let's punch it when we're ready.
Arlo does one of these.
Yeah.
However, I would not be opposed to awakening the captain to get her analysis of the situation before we re-enter hyperspace, which, by the way, we can't do until we know where we are.
That's a good
I'm
point.
not sure that's the best approach. We were the Alpha team first here to solve the situation. If we are unable to get back on track, then we will wake up the captain and the rest of the crew, or whoever is needed to sort this out.
So here's what's not clear. It's not clear whether you feel it first, or you see it first, or it all happens at once. But everything becomes visually distorted and warps. So the walls just kind of do a and the window, the canopy go, and the floor go. You look at each other and you can see like each of you kind of twist for a moment, and then you hear that noise, and it stops.
Hank, what just happened?
Arlo tosses his tomato scrap, thinking he just ate something really bad.
Yeah. Brett drops his pouch of Vienna sausages that he brought with him up to the deck. Kind of grabs the side of a chair.
Reserve life support. Low.
Did I experience the visual distortion also?
You did, and actually, I need to get up.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Hank.
Hank.
You did. And I actually need you to do a save for me. I need a body save from you.
From everybody or just...
Just our android.
Uh-oh.
For some reason, androids don't have very good body, which is curious to me.
But good enough.
That looks like
Good
success.
enough.
You got a
So-
pretty good body, Watts.
Critical.
Watts. As that pulse hits you,
Oh, it is a critical.
oh, it sure is. Look at you. All right, so I'll give you that critical. So as that wave hits you, you immediately recognize what's happening. You recognize that it's attempting to draw energy is being attempted to be drawn from your systems. So with a little bit of immediate rerouting and shutting down key operations, you are not. So in no way are you drained. And I think you were able to do that with such good success that if this were to happen again, you would have no difficulty duplicating that procedure. So nice crit.
The rerouting procedure, or
Yeah. So it's a matter. It was a
Okay.
matter of
I'm
certain
just into
systems
this.
shut down. The wave comes through. You're able to bring them back up, and there's been no loss of energy.
Got it. Alpha team, we've just been hit by some kind of energy sapping wave. I suggest we set down non-critical systems to conserve the rest of our power.
Agree. First, we need to get back the life supports on, definitely. And I think now it's time to bring out the captain from the cryo sleep. But I think the cycle
Life
to get
support
her.
critical. Life support energy critical.
Okay, proceed with the redirecting of the energy.
I recommend biological life forms go get vac suits if they have them, or retrieve one from storage if they don't.
Okay, I will lead the group and we will get suited up. However, it's not by default for everyone, right? It's based on the equipment.
So
How
who
does this
does
work?
have vac suits? Who has suits that will allow you to?
Brett does.
All right. So Brett suits up.
My
Yeah.
kit came with one that I do not need.
Okay. So you have one
Yeah.
to share. Who needs it?
Hold on, I will offer it to. Let's check our tally. Hezekiah can take it.
Okay. So
Whoever doesn't have one.
let's do this then.
Yeah, Arlo just has the hazmat, so
So Brett, I would imagine you're immediately going back to the engine room. And when you get back there, you do a quick assessment, and obviously there's several battery reserve powers, right? Everything runs off of battery. And the way that the system works on the province is the batteries are recharged constantly with solar panels that are all outside of the ship. You can see that all of the battery systems connected to the cryo chambers, connected to life support, connected to the gravity, everything is in red. And it does not appear to be recharging. So you would immediately expect to see, if this were to happen in a normal circumstance, you would expect the solar panels to start recharging. They don't appear to be. Best you can tell, you probably have 30 minutes of life support if nothing else changes.
Yeah, Brett gets on his comms and immediately alerts the crew of what I see physically here in the in this room. Is there any auxiliary power or backup or any other source that I might know of to kind of give us a little bit more time?
So you do have backups. The backups are purposefully disconnected and separated from the main system. They are completely depleted as well. So whatever hit you seemed to have just pulled all of the battery, all the energies out of the batteries on the ship.
So I guess if it took our energy, it can give it back. Can we locate the source of this pulse? Hank?
Recent pulse centered on the Alexis.
Isn't that convenient?
It's like it's a written adventure.
Hank, scan for power sources on the Alexis.
Alexis power systems at low reserve. High power source, cargo bay 1.
That sounds like the cause of our problems.
Okay, we should have a tag team to go in there, see what's going on, get back the energy we need, and we get the hell out of here. So I will lead the team, and I will need somebody who can do the technical stuff to join me, and we can proceed then.
So let's talk some quick logistics about the ship. So the province, your ship, is not designed to dock.
Just great.
Yeah, if you were to have a docking area, you would that you need to receive a docking as opposed to do a docking. But there is a cargo sled, which is a small shuttle that is used to ferry cargo from one ship to another, or if you're not able to connect for your drop, you can do that as well. So that's available to you, but they're really built into the ship itself. It's not a way to dock with another ship.
I assume that's what we would be doing.
Hmm.
Should we awaken the captain so that she can keep her eyes on the ship while we join you on the away team?
Yeah, definitely start the defrosting procedure on the captain, and I will give you the list of 5 Marines that we will need, that are good guys and will be able to help us with the security on this mission.
Confirmed.
Affirm. Major, security access.
Major
1,
code
2, 3.
3759.
Authorized. Cryo opening 5 Marines, A, B, C, D, and F, and Captain. Estimated release from cryo 11 hours, 58 minutes.
Or technically 30 minutes if we don't solve this thing. So let's get going. Who takes on the technical stuff? Is it you, Mr. Brett?
Brett, yeah. Brett's going to be at least good at somewhat figuring things out and making stuff happen. So, yeah, Brett's definitely on this.
Mr. Watts and Mr. Arlo, are you able to... are you willing to stay on the ship and find a way how to get us more time?
My primary skill is in the computers and hacking, which I appear to have been able to do from our bridge. So I should be able to remain here.
All right. And you, Mr. Arlo?
Arlo's visually bummed that he doesn't get to go. He's like, yeah, I guess I can stick around.
Okay, so agreed. Keep on reporting on every 10 minutes, and we just go to the shuttle or what's it called?
Is there 2 shuttles on this ship by chance, just in case?
No, there's just one.
No.
And Brett, the one thing that Brett does know is, Brett, you with a little bit of work, you could potentially prioritize the power draws. So you could, if you want to decide that there's certain systems that need to take priority, other systems could be brought down. There's sections of the ship that could be shut down, and so you could buy yourself a little bit of time that way.
I
so
gotcha.
is there a sense either from you, Brett, or from the team how we want to prioritize things?
Actually, our cargo is full of cryo. Is their life support as dwindled as well as ours, as much as ours?
Is.
Okay.
Yep.
That'd be terrible pulling reserve from them. Yeah.
I like your thinking.
Excess cargo areas, not with Arlo's baby of all the vegetables and fruit and good stuff that we need to eat, but any other systems that can't be shut down electronically or on a terminal definitely would go and try to manually break circuits and try to cut power off to areas that are not needed.
So there's areas of the ship that you don't plan on using. So shutting those down is easy. If you want to bring down the nav computer, that sucks some energy. That can be brought down, and those can
Hank.
be rerouted. Hank could be brought down. He's an energy suck. The hyperspace reactor could also be brought down temporarily. That would buy you some time. So if you wanted to prioritize the cryo chambers as well as life support on the ship, and maybe gravity, that could probably triple the time, give you about 90 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds fantastic. I'll run around and start breaking circuits and shutting things down to maximize power.
So
All
we're
right, talk to
losing
me-
Hank and Gravity, right? Like I heard those two would be quite significant. Okay.
I was joking about turning Hank off.
It's your call. Major, what do you want to do? Where do you want me to go?
This is not my decision. I don't know which systems are critical for our mission. We need your expertise on this one.
Unless we're all trained in 0G, I suggest retaining gravity in the sections of the ship that we plan to be on.
I have some basic trainings, but not my everyday thing, to be honest.
All right.
So
I
while
guess
all
we leave
that's
gravity
going
on.
What was that, Arlo?
While all that's going on, Arlo's just heading quietly to a nearby terminal, turning off the systems to, the aquatic drip systems, the lighting. He's like, well, we got 24 hours. We'll be good.
Also,
But he's visually devastated.
All right. So that's going to take a
like
little
I'll
bit of time.
mechanically pat his back.
So that's going to take obviously a little bit of time. I'm imagining 45 minutes to an hour, just kind of, go through the systems, get those all linked up. And then is the plan for Watts and Arlo to stay on the ship, and then for Brett and for the Major to get on the shuttle?
What are you guys' thoughts on someone dropping me and Major Farrell off and bringing the shuttle back, just to make sure that there's an extra opportunity to. I just hate splitting crews. That's all. I'm worried that we can't get back to each other if we need to.
We're split either way. Somebody is without the shuttle ship.
Maybe we could use the shuttle of what's the name of the ship? Of Alexis.
The
Is there
Alexis.
any?
So doing a scan of the ship, there's a very similar shuttle. It's a much larger shuttle attached to the bottom of the Alexis.
Is it
Well-
too large to
No, it could
get
dock.
back?
It could dock.
Okay.
Good thinking, Mr. Brett. I think I like your idea. So who will be the driver for this shuttle to get back, and we will have the opportunity to get the one from Alexis. Mr. Arlo, maybe you have some
Fair
other
question.
expertise besides hydroponics.
Driving? Yeah, I mean, we could do it. We could just give that a shot. He's never driven in his life, so.
So the four of you proceed to the shuttle. I guess the idea is that the four headed over and then two are headed back, or how are we doing this?
I was thinking Mr. Watts staying in the bridge with his hacking skills,
Okay.
and three of us going
Yeah.
over, and Mr. Arlo returning the shuttle back.
Okay. This is going to go great. You get to the shuttle. You activate the shuttle. Pretty cramped for three. Really kind of built for two, but Arlo's a slight man compared to the two of you brutes. So he's able to find space.
Does the
But
shuttle have power?
you bring it up, and the shuttle's got a little bit of power. And Brett, you look at this thing, and yeah, there's enough to get over there. You can't guarantee there's enough to get back.
I definitely communicate that, and we may need to rethink this.
Well, these things happen We need to accommodate, and let's stick to the original plan. Let's two of us go there. And I'm sorry, Mr. Arlo, you will have to stay here.
Son of a.
But
So
you know what?
I'm
Actually,
already like suiting up. I'm halfway ready. I'm like, damn it.
So you, one thing you do notice, Brett, as you're kind of checking those things is it appears that it's been about 45 minutes since this wave hit you. It appears that the solar panels are starting to work again. So you're starting to see the battery levels increasing. But then it happens again while you're in the shuttle. It's a boom, and it's just a distortion. And Watts is able to immediately knows what to do. He's able to shut the correct systems down so he's not affected by it. And it only lasts for maybe a second. Reality kind of things come back to life again. Everything structurally is where it's supposed to be. And you see the battery levels are back down to where they were and the recharging has stopped.
Does
Hank, run a
anybody-
diagnostic on the solar paneling.
Sonar paneling, rebooting, should be up and operational in 40 minutes. Shall I restart the cryo and as directed?
No, relay that. Unless someone disagrees.
What is your reasoning behind that?
It doesn't sound like they would be awakened nearly in enough time to resolve the situation. It depends if releasing them draws power or not. Oh, if it doesn't draw power, then. Oh, and if it can be reversed once it's began. Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, let's proceed as a backup plan.
Yep, so you can see that the process is restarting again.
Anybody has a medical scanner? Can you and to check what's happening to us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd take it out because at this point we have some of our equipment on us.
Sure.
And I kind of glance at Watts real quick because I've never actually used the thing. And I start fiddling around with some of the buttons and stuff like that. But I point it at who's ever closest to me at this point. Who wants to go first?
That's a good sell.
Well, let's get this over with. Let's see
Yeah.
what's wrong with me.
Alright. So let's go ahead and do a biology roll. I think the scanner gives you a bonus. Is that right?
Yeah, let's see.
Let me take a quick. I'll go to your items. Let's look at-
Might give advantage.
No, it just says to scan a body for disease or abnormalities.
Yep. So it just gives you.
Is
the
anyone
ability-
else picturing Egon's little
Yeah, exactly.
ghost detector? Okay.
So let's do a biology roll and let's back it up with intellect.
Okay. All right. So hit biology, stat, intellect.
Sweet.
Right. So I hit the button that looks like the on button, and I pointed at the major.
Major's cholesterol is a little high. Maybe cut down on the sugars, maybe the carbs a little bit, but otherwise, he seems to check out.
And I explained that to him, and I said, I've got some stuff that you could eat. Keep that stuff down. And then I guess, do you want me to roll for each person?
No.
Okay.
So you do it to Brett. Brett could lose about 15 pounds, but otherwise looks pretty healthy.
Maybe lay off the sausages.
That was oddly specifically directed to me. That was kind of strange.
Arlo does his, and I'd be curious to know, you're healthy, Arlo, but it does have a comment to make. So what is the comment that the scanner makes about Arlo?
Yeah, not enough protein. Well,
Protein levels low.
right.
Okay. But yeah,
Drink some water.
otherwise, everybody looks okay.
I also pointed at Watts, just kind of curious. Like, interesting.
Good job, Mr. Arlo. Maybe there's some hope for you yet. So
Jesus Christ.
I don't take that as in its own. Like, yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
and
What are we doing?
Let's
we need to get back to that shuttle and get to.
yeah.
Hank,
Vaslav, is your
hypothetically
character a-
speaking,
Sorry.
I was gonna say, are you a
Hank,
pilot?
hypothetically speaking, how many
No.
of the cryo chambers would have to be turned off in order to guarantee a return trip in the shuttle? If we could
Return
siphon
to
that power
Mars?
to the shuttle. No, a return of the shuttle from the Alexis back to the Providence.
Power can be redirected from cryo, 1 unit.
The math checks out.
Just curious. And I'm going to head to the bridge.
So, you're taking the helm, Mr. Brett?
Yeah. I'm
I've
trained
been
in piloting.
so engrossed with all of this that I have forgotten a very important mechanic in Mothership because I've been enjoying the role playing so much.
Is there a
All
penny?
We're all spooked out.
Yeah, all of you need to add 2 stress. So if you go to your character sheets, go ahead and bump your stress up to 4, please.
Oh, we started at 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
All right, so we are in the shuttle. We've got Watts back on the bridge. Arlo?
Yeah, so he's just kind of following Watts at this point. So what would you like for me to do? Because there's so much going on. I mean, I can help out anywhere.
Are you familiar with the ancient game of Kotaklu?
No, please tell me more.
It would probably take too long to explain.
Yeah, now's not the best time. You're right.
Please
So
remain in the general area.
Should we maybe draw straws for these folks and see which one's gonna get taken down out of cryo?
I'll leave that decision up to the major.
I don't think we have that many straws anyway.
So the shuttle's still attached. You have not left yet. I want to know if we're leaving with current reserve power, what could be a one-way trip.
Major, what would you like to do?
I am just the man with machine gun. You were here to get us over there and then back somehow.
I don't know what Brett would do. That's a good question. No, Brett feels confident in that he can, once over there, can redirect enough from another ship to get back onto this or fly whatever the hell's attached to the Lexus.
Gotcha.
Or I'm in a vac suit. I'm just gonna jump and gravity this bitch over.
Yeah, how's your space jumping?
It's great. I got a expertise in it.
All right. So as you're leaving dock, disconnect from the province and you start piloting the cargo shuttle over. It's not the fastest little shuttle. Not really meant to allow you to, hop across and be a tourist. Strictly just a hauler. And I would imagine maybe a minute or two after disconnecting, Brett, you realize you don't know where the hell to connect. Like, where are you going?
Are there comms connecting us in the shuttle?
Mhm.
Okay. Not that Arlo does anything. Just curious.
Yeah, we're flying towards this Alexis, and I'm looking for any kind of uh, indentation or something that would indicate a God, I don't know, some sort of door or access way. Um, hell, even maybe towards the bottom where the other ship is.
Is he
So-
mumbling to himself?
Here's my concern. And I think, and I'm sharing this because I think Brett would know this. I don't think you've got the energy to go flying around this ship looking for an airlock. And visually, you don't see one from where you are.
Gentlemen, I don't see an airlock. There's not enough power to make it across. This may be a lost cause. That's me
Scanning the
communicating
ship
over the
for an
comms.
entry point.
So, based off of your previous hack, you were able to bring in deck plans. If you want to send that to the shuttle, you can.
Sending you directions.
Right, that's received at the shuttle. You realize it's really 3 decks this ship is made up from. Looks at the bottom far north, sort of towards the front of the ship. You should have enough energy to get there to the main airlock, and it is compatible, so you would have no trouble docking.
All right. Acknowledge and thank Mr. Watts. Make our way over to the airlock.
Trip's going to take about 30, 40 minutes to get over there. Is there anything that we want to do during those 30, 40 minutes?
So we're still on that timer on the ship, correct? So I guess at this
It
point,
seems like once. Sorry, finish what you're saying.
no, because you might change the direction I go.
Oh well, It sounds like the solar panels start back up in time to start recharging, preventing us from completely running out of energy.
Yeah,
but
so
it does trigger a reset in the cryo wake times and everything.
basically, I'm wondering if I need to put a suit on or not.
So your assessment's right, Watts. It seems to be, right now we've had 2 instances of this that we know of, right? The first instance and then the second instance. And it appeared that the solar panels were able to reboot, start to replenish. When the second wave hit, a checking of the battery levels, you seem to be back where you were at the first wave. So let's say that this were to happen again at the same time period, at the same, instance here, which looks to be about 45 minutes to an hour. It seems that everything's going to remain status quo.
Okay. Well, then I guess at this point, Arlo's just kind of mesmerized by any kind of screen that we're watching the shuttle, just kind of staying on comms in case they need anything.
I'm routing access to our side terminal of video logs from the Alexis if I'm able to access them, if you'd like to review them.
Yeah, let's take it out.
So you log in to the Alexis using the same route you did for the original hack. And video system's down. But what's more startling is the logs only appear to be about 30 minutes worth.
I'm going to review them.
Nothing sustained, nothing, just life support active on low power cycle. The ship is basically at a low power cycle. But if you knew nothing about what was happening, you're just to look at this logs, and someone said, yeah, we turned the Alexis on for the first time about 30 minutes ago, this is what the logs would look like.
Are the video and audio logs separate?
They're completely wiped.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is there any current video feed available?
No.
Potentially, I have a body cam, but I'm still in the shuttle.
Yeah, I would like to have a link to that available once you start the away mission.
Yep, not a problem. You can connect to that and you get visual confirmation from that. All right, we're approaching. Want to know if we're doing anything or anything needs to happen in the passing 30 minutes?
Yeah, Brett not only has infrared goggles but a bioscanner in his satchel,
Mhm.
and he's going to utilize both of those and see if he sees anything on his way to the airlock.
Infrared goggles. I wonder where you got that idea.
So you're able to pilot, you're able to connect, manually unlock the airlock. There's a pressurization change. So kind of a whoosh in and a whoosh out as it kind of tries to stabilize the pressure inside the shuttle with the pressure inside of the Alexis. The Alexis is dark and it smells bad. And I don't know if Brett's ever smelled this, but I'm sure the Major has. And
Oh,
it smells like death. So let's take a quick 10-minute break. When we get back from the break, we're going to figure out what the hell that smell is. We'll be right back in 10 minutes. So just like your favorite TV show, it's going to have this huge, like right before cutting to commercial. And then when we come back from commercial, we go back about 15 minutes. And we're going to cut to the bridge where we have Mr. Watts. And Watts, you wanted to do what now?
I wanted to take a look at the circuit or memory stick that I'd gotten out of Tim's head and see if I could reconnect it to anything to regain any information that he
Yes.
might have had in his last few
Yeah,
moments.
you're able to connect it to a terminal and kind of bring in there. Everything is what you expect, right? Everything's good. Jump is great. Checking this, checking that, checking this, checking that. Shutdown ends. So there's no indication that Tim saw it happen. If that makes any
Well,
sense.
that's a relief.
We cut back to where we left before the break. Airlock opens. The pressure equalizes. Darkness in the Alexis. We're on the lower deck. There's guide lights. That smell that I mentioned. The Major's able to identify it. But visually, even Brett can see the three bodies in the hallway. On the floor, in varying conditions. 3 people dead.
Major immediately
And a lot of blood.
gets the SMG up, starts scanning the room, tries to get the infrared goggles that he has as well. And while scanning the room, he passes instructions to Mr. Brett. Well, Mr. Brett, it seems that we have a situation here, but we have a job to do and we need to do it fast. You will follow my lead. You will first let me go into a room, and until I say clear, you will then enter. And try to be careful and don't do anything without first announcing what you're about to do, so I can prepare for the situation that will go ahead. Do you have any weapon with you?
Right before that happens, Brett throws up all of the Vienna sausages onto the ground, and then hears that and it's like, okay, just kind of wiping up. And he's never seen death before. He cares more about machines than he does man, and that just he's never seen anything like it. But
So
he kind of nods.
And that's why you get only toast for
That leads me to exactly where we were headed. So I need a fear save. We'll start with Brett.
Fear save. Can you refresh me on how I do that?
Yep. So bring up your sheet, and you should on the far right corner, far right hand side. You should see the.
You click
Oh,
the
yeah.
fear itself.
And then no advantage or disadvantage?
Correct. All right. Roll me a D10 if you would, sir. Let's go ahead and add 8 stress.
That's fine.
Is that a
Uh,
panic?
It is not a
No,
panic.
Okay,
No.
so 8 more.
But anything happen? Does anything happen when a Teamster fails a fear save?
Not fear, no, just the panic effect table I can re-roll.
Got it. Got it. All right. Let's get a fear save from our Marine.
Let's do this.
All right. Also, I need a D10.
Which should be this one.
All right. Let's go ahead and add 6 to your stress.
That's 10 total.
All right. Give me just 1 second. A little bit of bookkeeping.
It's not scary at all when GM rolls without explanation.
No, I've done it twice. Everything's fine. In an
I'm
OSR
detecting a
game,
drop in Brett's blood pressure. Major, do you have that body cam feed?
Yeah, turning it right on immediately. Also,
So Brett has a body cam as well if you guys needed to, if you guys cared.
Yeah.
also I
You may
have a
not.
I
heads
assume
up.
they have like vitals on them.
Also, I have a heads up displayed. Mr. Watts, I will need you to guide me through this ship to the next, engineering bay or to the source of that signal that we saw before.
So let me show you,
Confirmed.
or not show you, but tell you what you're looking at. So as you came in from the airlock, in front of you, there's a ladder to the second deck. And then hallways extend to the left and to the right. And Watts, if you want to keep mapping wise, if they were to take a left, they'll get to that heads towards the chief quarters, life support, as well as the science lab. Going to the right takes them to the cryo chambers, the cargo bay, some more airlocks, the engine drive room, the crew quarters. So this is kind of the crew quarters cryo cargo deck. At the
If you want to hit straight to the cargo bay, you'll need to take a right.
And we do want to go to cargo bay, right? Okay. So we proceed. Did we pick up anything on those infrared goggles? Okay, so we
Nope.
proceed and
do we want to look at the bodies?
just briefly
do.
only, like with the. I will not approach them close and just check them from, like, some distance, and we will focus on our task then.
Yeah, violent deaths, mostly centered on the torso for two of the bodies, were just ripped, chest ripped open, intestines everywhere. The third one, though, has markings on its forehead. It's kind of a semicircle, oblong markings, where it appears that somebody took a pipe, drilled it into its forehead, and just pulled the pipe out, and you just see the blood pouring out of its forehead.
Great. Mr. Watts, are you getting this on the feed?
Confirmed.
Okay, we can check this later.
Do you have a first aid kit?
I'm not sure this guy needs a first aid kit. Let's proceed and
you'll need to take a right.
Yeah. And we will follow as per my instructions. I go first, check the room, call out clear, and Brett will follow.
So I'm imagining Arlo at this time just nonchalantly takes a look at his watch. And I guess the first thing I need to know is what kind of watch does Arlo wear?
Oh, it's as basic as it gets. But also, as everything else was going on, and as soon as Major left, he pulled out another tomato from his pocket and has been eating it this whole time. As soon as the body cam visual becomes apparent, though, he stops eating it. It's a little much.
So
but yeah,
do you
he's
mind?
checking his watch. Seed still kind of in his beard, but
And it's not that you were really checking your watch as much as the watch was visual when the warp happens again. You hear the boom, the distortion. It happens on the Alexis as well. So all four of you, well, three of you technically, watch, you're able to again shut down and recover and not be affected by this. That warping happens. What's different on the Lexus is all the lights go down for that 1 second, and then they start to flicker back on again once that passes.
Major will be, okay, we're doing this, and he will just loudly reload his SMG.
So heading to the right.
And we continue heading to our right. Meanwhile, Mr. Watts, do we still have connection?
Yes, I can hear you. And
Okay.
while I have you, does one of you have a motion detector?
That's negative.
If so-
I have a bioscanner, but it's not really a motion detector now.
That would have been useful.
Hey, Craig, is that blood on those bodies? Is it like a fresh wound that's actively bleeding at this moment, or does it look like it's been there for a while?
Could
In
have
that
happened
state.
anytime in the last maybe 4 or 5 hours, maybe.
That's really good to know.
So on the deck of the ship, Watts and Arlo notice just red lights start lighting up on the bridge.
that's normal.
What are they
right?
indicating?
So looking at it, it is critical failures occurring in the cryo chambers with life support. Checking the energy levels, they're at half what they were before. So kind of the status quo does not seem to be continuing based off of that last wave that hit.
Alpha
Now-
team, this last wave affected us more than the previous ones. It looks like we are on a schedule after all.
Okay, are you able to take hold of the situation? Meanwhile, we will try to get this thing sorted out here.
Yes, confirmed.
Okay, we then proceed, and so we don't lose more time.
So as you're starting down the hallway, you hear kind of a scratching, and it seems to be coming from the walls, and it makes you stop immediately. Both of you hear it. And it's a scratching that kind of passes up the left wall and a scratching noise that kind of skitters and kind of passes you on the left wall. Makes you stop
Okay.
in your tracks.
Definitely. Okay, are you getting any life forms on this ship from your position, Mr. Watts?
Rescanning.
So Watts does a scan, no life forms.
There's definitely
Back on stream.
Okay. All right. Ogres Plays Game, you are our canary in the mine. Are we showing back? Either that or Crimson Tan. Anybody in chat see us? A little Friday night glitchiness.
Gotta love it.
Looks good to me.
All right. Looking good on Twitch.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
Showing us
All right.
live on Twitch.
So
Yeah.
we've got a lot of things to take care of, and it happens very, very quickly. First, to check for surprise, I need a fear save from my Marine and my Teamster. Failing this means you're surprised.
2 off.
2 off as well.
Ooh, critical
Oh, a
failure.
critical fail. Ooh, okay. All right. So now we need a speed check for initiative. The way that initiative works in this system is everybody takes a speed check. If you make the speed check, you go first against whatever you're up against. If you fail the speed check, you go second.
Do I have military training, athletics affect anything in this?
Tactics does.
Yeah, I have tactics.
Don't need it from you, Watts. Appreciate it, though.
I'm here.
Tactics, I think, gives
I
you
can-
plus 10%. Double check it.
I'm watching.
There's skill bonus 15, so I guess it's 15%.
So plus
then.
15. Yep. So I think you can click on the tactics and it'll add the 15 and you just choose speed.
I choose speed. None. Okay. Brilliant.
All right. So, all right, that was the fear. All right. So, the skittering and then the 2 ventilator panels that are up ahead of you. You've got your gun ready. They blast out and pouring out of it. You see the first 2 and roughly just shy of a meter, maybe 3/4 of a meter, about 2 foot. The closest you've ever seen to what this is, and it's not this, but the closest is a cockroach. So I want you to imagine black plates along its back. You've got tentacles coming out the front of it. Multiple legs, way too fast to get a sense of whether it's 6, 8, or 15 legs. You can't tell. But immediately, 2 of them pour out along the wall towards you. 2 more seem to be coming out. A 3rd one comes out. It doesn't appear to be ending. You're frozen. So I've got 2 first attacks happening. Let's go ahead and let our first one roll. It rolled a 25. I need an armor save from my Marine. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to beat that 25, but be below your armor save.
So, and do I click on the armor I have then?
Click on the armor. Yep.
Oh, it.
Well, do you have it? Do you have it clicked for equipped?
No.
Okay, equip it, then just roll your armor save. It should change your armor.
Oh, I click on the armor. Okay.
Yep.
Huh. What do you know?
So, very nice. So you beat it. So this thing critters out and it leaps on to your body, and you bring the gun up and you're able to just knock it off to the side. So the first critter hits the wall and slides down the wall. Second one, same thing. This one gets to you, immediately bites into your shoulder. You can feel the tentacles piercing through the armor itself.
Just,
And-
what's this? Just
All right, I need 13 damage. So drop your health by 13. You've also failed to save. So I need you to add one more stress. Because of how
stress.
fast this is all happening, I'm going to have my Teamster make his first panic. So go to stress and roll panic. Now, what is your current stress?
I'm at 12.
You're at 12, so you're going to be rolling 2d6, or I'm sorry, it's going to roll 2d10 and add them together. You're going to want to roll higher than a 12. If you roll lower
Alright.
than the 12, you are going to panic. All right, you, my friend, are going to panic. Let's have my Marine do the same.
I can re-roll panic.
Panic results, right, on the table.
The table, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that in a second.
Sorry. So for panic roll, do I just roll 2d10?
No, just click on the stress.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so you both fail. All right, let's do the panic effect for my Marine. That is
Whenever
going to
Marine
be
panics, every friendly player nearby must make a fear save. That sounds legit.
all right. So we're going to need an additional fear save from our Marine. So for the panic check,
Game over, man.
let's see. here.
Just started.
This is a really quick one shot. Holy crap.
So I'm trying to remember what you roll for the panic. I think it's a
It's a
D10.
really big cockroach.
Roll a 2d10, and we add it together. So just go ahead and just roll a 2d10 off the dice, and I'll tell you the result, Marine.
2d10.
All right, the 11. Nervous twitch, gain 2 stress. The nearest crew member also gains a stress. So go ahead and gain a stress, and you gain 2 stress.
Sorry,
need
I get 2 and Brett gets 2, or the other.
So you're going to get 2, and
Okay,
Brett's
so
going to gain
13.
1 as the
Okay.
nearest crew member. And then we need a fear save from Brett because the Marine's freaking out.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead and gain yourself another stress for failing that fear save. And then roll me 2d10 for your panic. $14. Oh, I forgot to add your stress to that. What is your stress?
14.
So you're at a 28.
Mm-hmm. Is it worth re-rolling? Because I could re-roll this.
Well, 2d10. You figure on average, you're looking at a 10.
It's
so
above
this is
average.
This is above average if you want to re-roll it.
Yeah.
1 per session.
Oops.
All right. So 9 plus the 14.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to put you at 21.
23.
23. Death drive for the next XD10 days, where X equals your stress. So for the next 14 days, whenever you encounter a stranger or known enemy, you must make a sanity save or else immediately attack them. So that's going to be for the next 14 days. You are freaked out anytime you meet somebody you don't know or encounter. What did it say here?
Strangers. Gotcha. Freaked out.
A known
All right.
enemy.
Or a known enemy. So we've got the one critter on your shoulder. You've knocked it off. I've got 2 more critters that have poured out, and they're going to attack Brett. So Brett, this is the attack. $74. Let's go ahead and do an armor save. Have you equipped your armor?
I don't think I have armor. I just have a base stat.
Go ahead and just roll your armor save. Very nice. So this one leaps onto you. You're able to, push it off in time before the second one arrives. Here's the second one hitting you.
Vac suits give +7 armor.
Oh, good. So what you can do is go to the armor, equip it, and then the next time you roll your armor save, it'll give you that bonus.
Equipped. Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. 65 is the next attack. Let's do another armor.
No.
This is Forbidden Lands all over again.
All right. So damage. Go ahead and take 16 off of your health. You've got another one that's now dug into your suit and is digging into your shoulder as well.
Brutal.
So we've got 4 total that have exited outside of these big. 2 of them have been thrown up against the wall. 2 are on your shoulder. Body cam is seeing all of this. I want to quickly cut to the bridge.
Arlo is visibly shaken watching this whole thing. He's got his back up against his wall, against the wall, eyes wide. Says to Watts, "We should wake the captain up, right? We got to get over there. We got to do something. What are we doing?"
And I think this
Wake
is
cycle on the captain has begun.
the fear. I don't think this is a fear for you because you're disconnected from this. This thing is a whole ship away, but it's definitely going to be a sanity save. So let's do a quick sanity as you try to make
I don't
sense of
give
something
penalties.
you've never seen before.
All right. And as a scientist, whenever I fail a sanity save, every friendly player nearby gains 1 stress. So hopefully,
And I
don't
believe
fail.
you're also, is it sanity or fear that androids
Just
affect?
fear.
Okay.
Nice.
You got this.
So, Arlo, you see on this body cam these huge bug insect type things with these strange tentacles coming out. You see him launching at the body cam. You see him being fought off. You can hear the screams coming from both of your crew members. You're stepping back and you're trying to piece this together, and somehow you make sense of it. So, how did you pass that sanity save? What is the rationale?
Yeah, Lost in Space.
Yeah, that's it. I've stepped on cockroaches before. So I mean, this is still terrifying, but in a way that I could kind of connect the dots, and there's just bugs.
You got to be a little interested too.
Right. Yeah, I am in a dark way. I am super curious about what's going on over there.
All right, I want to see if my android is able to piece this all together with a sanity.
Android sanity is suspiciously low, so I wouldn't have high hopes.
All right, so let's go ahead and add a stress for that failure.
Yeah.
How is Watts piecing together what he just saw?
Well, my intention was to start scanning the Alexis systems for threat mitigation things, but I think it is like in haste to try to do that. He's like, he sees like the word suppression and he just like activates it, but it's like a fire suppression system. So like maybe some just like smoke comes out or like a sprinkler turns on or something completely unhelpful.
So here's the good news. It definitely, the button hits, you can hear that psh, 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 but it appears to be a system that your friend shut down. So no water, no foam.
I meant on the Alexis.
Oh, on the Alexis. Ooh.
Yeah, to mitigate, see if they had, I don't know, some like combat drones that I could activate.
Sure.
But I'm just
Let's.
turning a
I
sprinkler
will
on.
need a fresh hacking roll for that. So let's do a fresh hacking
sure.
for that.
Yeah. Disadvantage at all?
No.
Okay. That makes sense.
You're not able to get into the safety system. So you try to reroute to
Okay.
the safety systems, unable to break in through it. We cut back to the hallway. Critter 1, Critter 2, both of you can act. And
So we have. So if I understood correctly, we have like 2 actions. So I'm thinking I would put a stim pack in my thigh to immediately reaction to the damage and try to fight off one of the critters.
So the drawing of the stim pack and then the application of the stim pack, that's going to take your basically your fast and your slow action up. So there wouldn't be an ability to do anything past that. So that would consume your turn.
So, okay, so then I would rather, I'm thinking, shoot one with the SMG and prepare the stim pack for the next round.
Okay. All right. So pulling the stim pack out, you've got the one on your shoulder. I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to shoot at that, but we're going to shoot at the one on the wall.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to your SMG and let's give it a roll.
Definitely don't shoot the one on me. That's for damn sure.
There's a reload. Okay, I need to think about how this works.
So go ahead and do the reload. We're going to assume you're reloaded.
And if I click on it again, okay, so I shoot. Oh, it does a lot of things.
Nice.
Oh, it rolled the 40-10. Okay.
Nice damage. Let's go ahead and have it roll its save, which it fails. It explodes. So you just pulling back. You've got this bug on there. You've kind of reached down into your pack. You're pulling a stim pack out. The gun comes down shooting off of the hip, and you just unload and it's just blood everywhere. Just this dark bluish goo as this thing just explodes against the wall.
Just
Brett,
like in the boot camp.
Brett, you've got one on your shoulder.
Yeah, Brett
Only good
immediately
bug is a
tries
dead
to.
bug.
I don't know if it's a fast or slow action, or if it's called disengage or whatever. But I'm going to try to get this thing off me and get it off.
Let's
with
go
my
ahead and
hand.
have you do. We'll do as a straight strength roll against the bug.
All right.
I don't need to roll. So you're unable to press this thing off of your shoulder. It's dug into your shoulder, and you're just trying to press it off, and it's latched on.
Incredible.
Is it again 46 against 45?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you this is why I play Malifaux with cards, not dice.
You do have a fast action.
I have a fast action. I would have a crowbar in my pack that I would one hand trying to rip this thing off, the other one pulling my crowbar out.
All right, we've got three left alive. Let's go ahead and do our speed check for round 2.
Oh, and I had the tactics, I guess.
Get the
Nine.
Can I curse? Is this a family friendly?
I meant to ask that before we started.
You can definitely curse. We're going to start with the one on your shoulder, Brett. It is trying to dig into that shoulder. That's a fail. You don't need to do the armor save.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's not true. You could critically fail. Let's go ahead and do that armor save.
Oh, you had to say that.
I'm going to guess 7s.
I mean, what are the odds?
Okay, cool.
All right,
Finally
so
rolled
this thing
good.
is digging in, not doing any more damage. So I think what is happening, Brett, is you've not been able to pull it off of you, but you've gotten it to retract its tentacle teeth that is kind of digging into your shoulder. So it's come off of you at that point. We've got the other one on the shoulder of our Marine. Don't critically fail.
So I hit armor.
Not only that, but you succeed. Same type of a situation, not able to do any more damage as this digging into your shoulder. The last one that's on the wall jumps to the Marine off of the wall. Actually, no, it's jumping on you, Brett, because the one that was on the wall nearest to my Marine is dead. So it launches off. I need an armor save.
There they are.
So what happens? So this thing launches off the wall, headed towards you. You've got one on your shoulder. You've got another one coming right at your face.
I just kind of instantly react with I've got this. I'm pulling this crowbar out, and I just kind of rotate wrist and just flick this thing off like a ball and a bat. Just bink, and kick it down the hallway.
So
Or hit it down the hallway.
it falls on its back, slides down the hallway. You can see the little skittering arms of it as it's sliding past in front of the Marine, and it instantly flips over. Did I go 3 times? I did. We've got your actions. Who wants to go first?
I do the shooting. Can I shoot and apply the stim pack?
You
Or
can
the other?
shoot and apply the stim pack. Yep.
And
What's the stim
I-
pack do?
I think it, besides healing it and addiction, it boosts. Okay, I click this. So immediate 2d10 to health. So I will do that. Roll 2d10.
All right. So add 4 to your health.
Almost on the 7 too.
That's
All right.
yes.
So
And-
it's going to increase your strength in combat by 2d10. So let's see what it increases your strength in combat. Very nice. So go ahead and add in the modifier space. You see where it says modifier?
Yeah, that's
Put a
smart.
16 in there. And let's find out for how long with a d10. You were juiced for 2 hours, my friend.
Okay. I hope
Slow
you
action.
remember. Slow action. I shoot. Well, the other one that just missed Mr. Brett.
The one that
Nice.
skittered on the floor and is now
Yes.
flipped over. All right,
Yes.
give it. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
SMG. He's going down.
Nice.
I hope.
29 damage. Dang.
Explodes, just guts everywhere, splits it right in half. Little tiny legs hit the one wall, little tiny legs hit the other, and it's just completely exposed with just this blue goo. Brett,
I gotta get this damn thing off me. I don't know if the crowbar would help in any way, shape, or form because it's not going to hit myself. But
if
it's
you
a
want to attack
fast
it with a
action to
crowbar,
pull this thing off.
you can definitely hit it with a crowbar.
Well, let's
Just
do
You can also
him
pry
off.
it off.
Off
Hey,
my
you wanna-
shoulder.
Go ahead. What do you want to do, Brett?
You know what? No, I'm still trying to. I got the crowbar ready to smack this thing once I yank this thing out because I can tell it's halfway off because it hasn't latched into me any further. So I'm going to try to disengage with it again with the strength roll. Is that right?
Yep.
Lowered veer me strength. Come on.
Boom.
Holy crap. All right. Yeah. I think not only does it get off of you, but you throw it up against the wall. Go ahead and give me 2d10 damage. So you hear it crack as it hits the wall and slides down. It is still alive, but you definitely obviously did some damage to it. All right.
Do I have a slow action left?
You do. What do you want to do?
The free hand is already mid motion coming down with my crowbar and hitting this motherfucker square in the chest. What the thing, whatever it is.
It's beautiful underbelly. So this won't be.
Thorax.
Yep. So go ahead and attack with the crowbar.
Oh,
What the damage?
it worked. Oh,
So as it comes down, this thing is skittering across, and the crowbar edge hits the metal floor right next to it. So you just barely miss it as it flips back over on its side. We're gonna go to round 3. I need new speed rolls.
No, sorry.
Jesus.
I rolled strength. Fix that.
yeah, me too. No.
All right. So my major, you get to go first.
Well, I have still 3 bursts left in my SMG, so I will try to get the one that's freshly on the ground.
Okay. Let's give it a roll.
Get it. Oh,
Boom! Explodes from the SMG fire.
Oh, it's critical. Oh, well, that doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, it's dead. It's now it's super dead. It's critically dead.
right.
Loving
You
it.
super miss Brett down the hallway.
All right,
Yeah.
so the only one that we have left now is the one on your shoulder.
So that was a slow action. I mean, a bit fast. I can try to pry it
Yep.
off.
You want to
with
try to
fr-
push him off with your fast action?
yes. I guess I don't have any
Strength roll?
tricks. Strength roll.
Oh, nice.
You're able to tear him off. Where does it go?
It just goes right in front of me, and I will be ready to shoot him next time.
All right. It skitters back onto its belly, tries to attack you. Armor save?
See about that.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Not
Nice.
quite good enough.
Oh,
That's a crit.
All right. So that is going to be 8 total damage with the crit. And I'm going to use that crit to say that you're not going to be able to get this thing off of your chest next round. So it's firmly attached to the chest. It's doing damage into your chest. It's right there. And you will not be able to rip it off next turn. It's going to be on there for at least an extra turn.
that's
Brett.
brilliant.
You've stabbed the crowbar down. This thing flipped over just in time to miss that, and then the major shoots, bypassing, like threads the
lose?
needle under
Okay.
your arm and hits the bug, and it explodes onto you. You are bug free right now, but your buddy's got one on his chest.
yeah. Brett's gonna Happy Gilmore it straight towards him and just try to swing and try to hit that bug off his shoulder
All right,
Not
let's
the
do
with
it.
his
ball.
crowbar.
Nice. Ooh, 44.
So it's gonna die. I want to know what happens and how it dies. You Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, yeah, I call it. I point to the opposite direction over his shoulder, smack that thing, and it just pops like a water balloon with the guts. And looking at Major Farrell, he's got like it's blue blood, right? Like a blue gook.
Like a
Half
dark,
his
dark
face is
thick
blue, and the other is like regular flesh tone. So it looks like he's been splattered halfway, like a silhouette. And
He's
just,
got like
blah.
Braveheart makeup on one half of
Yes,
his face.
I like it.
As there's a moment of silence after that, Arlo's or Watts is going to come in over the radio. If there's any way you could bring back a sample of that,
Yeah, you can sample
it
it
might
out of
be
my
useful.
ass.
Confirmed.
I will reload just in case. I guess
Yep.
I hit this one. And Brett, are you all right? Right? Do you have any injury?
You can
Yeah,
see the blood
I'm-
coming off his shoulder.
Okay, here you go. Take this. I lob him one of the stim packs.
Okay.
Okay.
Drop it from your inventory. And
Oh, I didn't drop the previous one, so -2.
I would use it immediately. Can you just roll for me and I apply the?
yeah, sure.
I have to remember what.
I
Just
trust.
roll 2d10.
Vaslov.
Yep.
Yeah, 2d10 heal.
Vaslov, you gonna roll for me?
No, you're gonna roll it. 2d10.
Oh, I can roll it?
You can roll.
Okay.
Yeah. I just pasted the text to the chat.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and heal 10.
Then again,
Then-
2d10.
Yep. Do the 2d10 for the boost to your strength and your combat. All right, so in the modifier, go ahead and add 9 to both your strength and your combat. And then I need to know how many hours it's going to last. So one last 1d10 once you do that.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so for 5 hours.
5
You are
hours, okay.
juiced.
I was for 2, I believe, and you're
Yep.
for
Did we
5.
lose DZ or did DZ just turn his camera off?
I see him on Facebook. Battery warning for headphones.
I see his camera off. So,
Okay. All right, we'll give him a second to come back. Gentlemen, what are we going to do?
Brett, are you okay to continue forward? We need to finish our mission, otherwise we're even more dead here than like what.
Brett went from scared shitless to let's tear these fuckers apart with the stim pack juiced into me and that last final blow to that one on your shoulder. He said, and Brett just says, let's do this.
You'd make a good Marine. And we double time it to the, what was it, to the cargo bay or
Yep.
something.
So you continue down the hallway, and there's airlocks, internal airlocks to your right and the left, and that's not uncommon in a ship to have those type of safety measures. The airlock to the right, Watts tells you, is to the cryo pods. The airlock to the left is to cargo bay 1.
We needed cargo bay, right? So we continue to the left. Since we're running, we're trying to be careful because we have experienced what happened. So we're taking care of, like, if on the wall we're expecting that these things could jump us any minute.
Right. And actually, one thing probably worth doing is with our infrared goggles, just making sure that these critters that attacked us are leaving a heat signature or not, just so we know if we need to use them.
Yeah, you drop the infrared goggles, and it's nothing.
Okay. I take them off my forehead like an idiot and put them in my bag.
You get to the airlock.
Bioscanner.
You get
Do we sense anything with the bioscanner?
bioscanner picks up nothing.
Okay.
You get to the airlock of cargo bay 1.
Brett, let's get this thing open. Or maybe
I guess I
we
try
try
to
push the button, first.
There's no check
Yeah.
needed. Yeah. If you guys just want to open the airlock, you can.
Let's do it.
So it's 2, and then a big twist of a wheel, and the airlock slides and rolls open.
With my gun ready, of course.
Of course. You look out, and you see a huge cargo bay. Might be the size of the province. There's lifters in there, forklifts. You can see sleds for carrying cargo. There's crates. They're all destroyed. So you see just wood and metal, twisted metal, where these crates were stacked. On the far end, you can see a huge airlock cargo door that would easily allow large things to come in and out if connected. The primary feature, the thing that immediately draws your attention, is in the exact center of cargo bay 1. It extends about 6 foot tall, and it's twisted metal, shaped in, imagine like a cone. So at its base, it's easily 8 foot wide, and it slowly extends up, gradually, I should say, not slowly. It gradually extends up to the top. At the top, you would guess maybe 4.5 foot. It's high enough that you can't see above it from where you're standing. Looking at the twisted metal, it looks like a hodgepodge of metal, beams, tools, just brought together into this bizarre statue that's in the center. And this twisted makeshift statue of metal in the center, completely unnatural, not anything you would expect to see. That's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part are the 6 people kneeling around it with their heads attached to it. So you see 6 bodies on their knees, leaned into it, and they're not touching. They're embedded into this metal structure. They're completely naked. I need a fear save from both of you.
And from me as well.
Oh, thank God. That teetered on that 90. God dang.
Oh boy.
All right, let's do a panic check for my Marine.
Oh, sorry. How do I do that again?
So first you're going to add 1 stress for the failure of the fear save.
Okay.
And then click on the stress. It'll initiate the panic.
Oh yeah, here.
Oh,
Very nice. So you do not panic. You rolled high enough. Your target was 14 with your 14 stress, and you rolled a 16.
The Stimpact Gate game, like, give me some, familiar medicine. So, Mr. Watts, are you reading this? Have you?
Yes, but I cannot offer any insights at this time.
Okay, Mr. Arlo, are you familiar with what's happening here? Have you seen that?
So at this point, Arlo's not watching the screen. As soon as Watts started talking about turning on the cryo chamber for the captain, he was headed that way. So unless there's any screens on the way, all he can do is hear things.
So where are you headed? I'm sorry, Arlo.
To the captain.
Gotcha.
From a while ago, we were talking about getting that going. So
Yep. So let's go ahead and cut to you then. Inside the cryo room.
okay, yeah. So I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say to the captain, thinking about the ring going around that moon, thinking about these cockroaches, and trying to make sense of it. As I'm guessing the cryo chamber is opening, or
Oh no. It is literally only been going through its 12-hour process for maybe about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it seems that every time this wave hits, it's restarting the process.
Okay. Well, then over comms, I'm asking Watts, should I unplug something to speed this thing up? We got to get the captain out here.
I don't think that that's going to be an option right now. Sounds like Alpha Team is on its own.
Arlo just freezes. He's just dumbstruck, unable to really think about what to do because he's helpless in this situation.
So about 30 minutes since the last wave hits, we cut back to the cargo bay 1. The two of you are standing there looking at this constructed monstrosity that's in the center of this cargo bay 1 with these 6 people that have embedded their heads as part of this statue, kneeling in a circle around it. And you start to see kind of a blue energy glow coming from the center of it.
Brett immediately sees these figures, knowing that he just scanned for with his bioscanner to see if anything alive was around. He double checks. He pulls out his scanner again and looks at whatever reading comes up.
Now, those 6 people are dead, or at
Look
least
at the
not giving any. They're not giving any signals.
I look at the Marine and shoot these guys.
All right, and I just start unleashing bursts to those.
So you just start unloading the gun, and it's firing, and it's not damaging this metal statue whatsoever. But you go to the first body, and you start blowing through it, and from the midsection on, you start tearing holes into it. The bullets ripping through it. It does not detach the head, but the bottom torso falls off. So now this thing is just hanging by its forehead, off of the statue. Do we continue?
Yeah. Let's continue. Yes.
All right. So we get a montage, a bloody montage, as you start just blowing away these bodies from it. From where you're firing, you're not able to detach these heads from it. You can tell that if you were to aim it ahead, you potentially could just blow the head off. I don't know if you want to do that or not with any of these.
I will just do the first round of unleashing hell on those bodies. I will ping back, Mr. Watts. Did any of the readings change? Are we getting back to power?
I'll double check, but I'm assuming no.
No, and
Surprise.
and just to be clear, Watch, you're not picking up. Oh, I'll let you mute. You're not picking up any energy signals. All right, so this is just a visual blue light that's glowing from the center. Watts is not picking up anything, so everything's unchanged from Watts's perspective.
No change. When you have a moment, please take a close-up look at one of the wounds that you suffered during that encounter.
Okay. Mr. Brett, continue. Proceed
With
to
the body
examine.
camera.
Yeah, Brett will walk up close and make sure that body camera shows shows what Watts needs to see.
All right, so through the body cam.
Like this wound is similar to the one suffered by the two bodies that they encountered when they first came out of the connection.
So the first two bodies that they saw were just shredded to pieces, right? So this obviously doesn't look anything like that. This also does not look like that symmetrical ellipsis that was through the head as well. So this looks like a dog took it, like just went in and just ripped into their shoulders. Is it possible that these bugs could have torn to pieces those other two bodies? Yes, it's possible. There's nothing indicating that's what caused the third death, the boring into the hole, to the forehead.
Is there any reaction from the guys with their heads up against the pile as we're blowing through them?
Nope.
I look at the major and say, "Want me to try to pry one of these heads off this thing? See what happens."
Okay, go ahead. I got your 6.
All right. So Brett's going to approach the closest one and shove that edge of that crowbar right between the forehead and this metal cone, and see what happens.
So as you get close to this cone, you still can't see to the top of it because of the height of it. You take the crowbar and you first time into it, you kind of chip to the metal. The second time into it, you go right into the cranium of this of the head of this thing, and you just try to just peel it off, and it tears off, and as it pulls off, the remainder of the bone is still embedded. So you're not separating it from the metal, you're separating the skull itself. So the head just tears open, leaving the skull embedded in there. I need another fear save. Let's go ahead and add one more stress. You get an indication from the Providence of 10 minutes remaining for life support.
Okay, time to bring out the big guns. I got the... Okay, so first, I got a
Do we know
frag
this is the
grenade.
source of the
What-
power right here?
Yeah, that's
Do we know that?
According to Hank, that's what the source was, from Cargo Bay 1 on the Alexis. This is Cargo Bay 1.
We don't have any time to spare. So I assume that frag grenade would not do like hull damage and suck us out into the space. I would have that knowledge.
The room is
Okay.
large enough that if you were to put a frag grenade on this thing and get the hell out of there, you could see yourself damaging whatever this thing is, and without threatening the airlock.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this. I will prepare the frag grenades. I will like hold the...
Well,
I guess
I
belt
was
of the-
telling you about a frag grenade, and then you just said
Yeah.
frag grenades.
I know. I
Okay.
will hold the pouch with the grenades. I will look at Brett. So, what do you think? And I will like show, obviously, like one hand holding one and the other the pouch.
Does Major Farrell have a vac suit?
No, I have the battle dress or whatever, the standard marine thing.
I have one, and that also has mag boots, so I could withstand some sort of depressurization if needed. I'm almost wondering if I need to get you to safety and me figure out if we can just throw a few of these into the mix. And
I don't recommend either of you staying in the room if we're going to be setting off frag grenades in this cargo bay.
touche. Why the hell not? Let's if we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
So I keep 1 and the rest of the 5. Yeah, I prepare to set them off and on our way. So I guess I could time them or remote detonate them or something like that. So
I don't
5
know.
of them, I will
How,
try to.
how are you doing this? You're pulling the pin and running, or
I will set them off on. I guess I could put longer timer for us to run away from it. So I would put 5 them, set ready, set, go, and we go for it.
all right?
And I will keep
Click, click,
1.
Run,
only.
run.
So
Airlock
you
close.
there? You set the frag grenades. Or we're just setting it around the base of this thing. Where are we putting
Yeah.
these frag grenades?
Yeah.
Okay, you set them around the base. You set the timer for how long?
I guess I could be able. I should be able to estimate how much time we need to run to the airlock and close it.
Let's say 20 seconds to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. You set them for 20 seconds. You book ass outside of the cargo, closing the airlock, and you hear walls buckle a little bit. You can see the physical walls buckle a little bit.
Mr. Watts, any change?
You were getting nothing before, you're getting nothing now.
Nothing detected at this time.
I'm open to ideas.
Is there a depressurization?
There does not appear, it did not appear to impact the hull itself. So no depressurization.
Door should be safe to open if it opens.
We should have left a body camera on the other side of that door.
Yeah, now we're smart.
Yeah, now we're smart. Yeah, intelligence grew
So-
when we left.
I'm imagining Brett being kind of the final one that kind of locks the airlock. What are you doing as he's closing that airlock?
I'm looking. I'm checking the area for any potential enemies.
So you're checking left and right. There's hallway to the right, hallway to the left. You came from the left. He's closing the airlock. The boom occurs. It causes a flinch from you. You feel the wall. You feel the airlock holds. Brett, you kind of step back as it happens. Major, you kind of put yourself back together again. You look to your left from where you came. You look to your right. It's got to be 7 feet tall.
Oh god.
These long arms from its shoulders extending down to the floor, almost like a gorilla, except it's thin. You can't quite tell the skin. It's a dark skin. It might be purple, might be blue, might be gray. It's really difficult to tell. The body is gaunt and the torso is extended, at least 5 foot worth of torso to the hips. And then 2 much smaller legs. You kind of assess from the shoulders down to the arms. You look at the hips, you look at these legs, then you look up. And it's got this oblong head, just pure clean. 2 sets of eyes on either side of this head, like a fly. You pause and take that in as the seam becomes visible and it opens. The tongue lashes out. You see the teeth, the saliva spitting out as just this grotesque noise comes from as it's screaming and belting at you. And it starts lobbing towards you down the hallway as we fade to black. Let's go to credits. We'll be right back.
It's brilliant.
Damn you.
And Nick, you have that when you see.
So welcome to Mothership. I'm not quite sure where to start. I think I'm going to start with my newest cast member, my newest player. So Kyle, never played Mothership before. I think the first time you saw the book was what, a week ago?
Yeah, pretty much. Second you suggested it, picked it up, gave it a read through. Had no idea what to expect. Certainly not what we experienced today.
How so? What was different? What's unexpected about what you experienced today?
Well, I guess I was for one, the adventure, the derail was absolutely not what I was expecting. I was fully going into it thinking that we were going to land on that planet, we were going to deal with these cultists, and here we are dealing with gorilla cockroaches, and yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
So you have more than a few games under your belt with other RPGs. Anything this reminds you of? Anything that mechanically that kind of turns you on a little bit? What's kind of your hot take on the system?
So far, I feel like the system has been really straightforward. It's not reminiscent of anything that I'm familiar with, but I also generally don't play sci-fi stuff, so this has been kind of exciting on that front. But I feel like there's still a lot more for us to explore with the system. Like in the book, it talks about ship fighting and all this sort of other sort of stuff, and I feel like we just kind of scratched the surface. We're just rolling and attacking, and getting the basics of any RPG. So
So DZ, do you have any sense of what's next?
Depends on whether we remain 4 cast members at the beginning of next section, or if we're down to 2 while a couple of people are re-rolling. I mean, I can imagine that keeping that one grenade was probably a good idea, but I suspect just from my data banks on how insectoid colonies work that this thing is not it's not going to be the main threat. I suspect that first encounter was with the equivalent of ant drones or bee drones. This might be a soldier, which means that there's 1 or 2 casts above that there is cause to be concerned with.
What do you feel about the system? And I don't mean just mechanically, like the look and feel of the game.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, so my favorite movie of all time is The Thing, so I was anticipating a little bit of that in here, which we're getting with it's some of that with like the creature's head splitting open at the end. Obviously, influence of Alien and Dead Space is apparent with the strange obelisk, and yeah, I too was expecting the known cultists to be a factor, so that there are unknown, possibly cultists or just people who've been affected by whatever this is to deal with instead will be interesting. And if we end up waking up any moopers on our ship, seeing how they're going to feel about this.
How about you, Nick?
The system is good. It's
like
got that Cthulhu sanity thing going for it. Yeah, it seems straightforward. It seemed beforehand and still now mostly narrative, and like the rules are just there to handle things that you might not succeed at. So it's doing its job on that front.
Yeah, and I think when people talk about things being an OSR, that can mean a lot of things, right? Old school Renaissance, old school Revolution, retro. There's all things that those R can stand for. But I think one of the things that seems to be common among things that are labeled as OSR is it leaves a lot to the people at the table to decide how the game is going to play. So it gives you the basics, gives you the structure, and it says, you know, there's a ton of gaps here. And you guys fill it in. You guys decide how you're going to apply what we gave you and turn this and finish the game at the table, essentially. How about for you, Nick? How does it feel? This is your second horror RPG with me.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. The open-ended story or environment and world that we're in. I mean, the Mothership rulebook is what, 30 pages deep, and so we're not prepared for all of these things. It's here's your character, here's the rules, this is how you navigate. Have fun. I love it. It's fantastic. I mean, it took us a little bit to catch our stride and really develop ourselves and figure out where each of us stand and how we are in this group. But uh, I really like it. I like this open ended aspect of it, and it's not too crunchy. And there's a lot of cool things going on.
So Vaslev, we've got two people nice and safe for the least for the next 20 minutes on the province. We've got the two of you where you are. So the good news is that it seems like life support's fine. That doesn't seem to be the issue that you're having on the other one. I'm dead curious in the chat between now and I think we're playing again on the 29th. What kind of game planning? Like, I have no idea what the four of you are going to do. Do you have any sense?
Well, I kept that green for a purpose. I expected some kind of shenanigans. This sounds messy, and well, somebody is going to be re-rolling their character.
You're not feeling very optimistic.
Yeah, but potentially, maybe not both of us. Maybe not both of us.
All right. So for those of you watching, a couple things. One, if you're not already subscribed to the flagship content, that comes from Tabletop Talk, the podcast. You can pick that up on any of your favorite podcatchers. For those other horror fans, I would recommend a couple things. One, this week I'm releasing my interview with John Scott Tynes, who is one of the earliest people that created Delta Green. He also created an RPG called Puppet Land. If you wonder how twisted a mind can be, go check out Puppet Land. And then you have to be concerned about Mr. Tynes that he was able to come up with that game. Tomorrow is the third and final Fear Itself. So when I say third and final, I mean third and final of our trilogy here, 3 nights of our streaming.
Okay.
Playing Fear Itself, you'll see the Nick Westbrook there. It is another horror game, but very different from this one. It's a very different look and a very different feel. We've had two wonderful, great first 2 episodes. The cast is outstanding. Another situation where I'm walking in there as the GM, and I've got all my framework ready. No clue what these guys and gals are going to do tomorrow night. So that's 9 p.m. tomorrow Eastern here on Twitch and on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and hit me with a follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, a subscribe would be nice. If you're feeling really good, a little subscribe on Twitch never hurts either. Last but not least, the 4 of these gentlemen are taking advantage of being patrons of Third Floor Wars. So one of the benefits of being a patron of Third Floor Wars is you get the opportunity to jump in on these games. And Vaslev and DZ, this is your both of you second games with me, right?
I
Yep.
played Blades as well.
Yeah, Blades, and then you played Star Wars with me, DZ. So this is your second game with me. Nick is his 15th game with me. He takes full advantage of it, and this is Kyle's first time taking advantage of that. So if you'd like to be a patron of Third Floor Wars, you can just go to Patreon and look for Third Floor Wars. Most importantly, this is almost 3 hours of content, and you sat through the whole freaking thing. And I want you to know I appreciate you watching.